It happens to be Wednesday, July 30. That's right, my friends, July 30. And it is, as we speak, 20 a.m. So right Wednesday morning, Eastern time. And I want to make sure everybody is with us first and foremost. So I must have from you something that we call a 5 by 5. This is your chance to acknowledge that we are here, that you recognize us, that we're coming in loud and clear, and that you are hearing us. Very good. There we go. There's Freddie. Lynn Kern joins us. Wonderful. Let's start off right off the bat with one of my favorite subjects, which I can't prove. I have an idea, maybe, sort of, I'm not sure. But it goes something like this. And the idea is that, there might just be something to this tsunami business. Right now, as we speak, this is some pretty serious stuff. Shaken to the core. First tsunami waves hit Russia and Japan, with buildings washed away, as strongest quake since 2011. Donald Trump shares dramatic warning to millions as tsunami looms. How long does it take for a tsunami to hit after an earthquake? Minute by minute breakdown. Millions of Americans under threat of tsunami in just hours, with urgent evacuations underway as we speak. Ladies and germs, millions of Americans under threat following a massive 8.8 magnitude earthquake that struck off the coast of Russia. Sirens were blaring in Hawaii, and it's just incredible. What is this? This is brand new show prep as we speak. You know where I'm going for my information. My favorite, my chat GPT friend. Oh God, I love that. And I'm going to put this in. Facts about tsunamis. The latest Russian tsunami warning. Hawaii, Guam. What are they? What were the biggest ever? Explain the physics behind it. What is the latest report as of right this moment? And what are the considerations and the concerns of many? Give me a news broadcast in the style of a news broadcast. And there you have it. And it creates this incredible story. Brackets. It's the most incredible thing I've ever seen in my life. It's incredible. But I'm interested more in your reviews, because you folks, you great people, will just get right down to brass tacks and you will tell me exactly what you think it is. You will tell me specifically what you think it is. You'll say, well, I think it's such and such, and it's this, and it's a Tesla form, it's kind of a directional energy, a weapon, blah, 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 and that's what you think it is, right? Am I right? Because that's what makes you so beautiful. That's what makes you who you are. You love this stuff. So let me get right now, let's get down to business. Everybody join in. Come on, come on. Everybody wake up. What do you think this is? What are people saying? I heard the warnings have spread to Washington, Oregon, and California. Could be a problem for the Oregon coast. Should call my friend who's on the coast. Should call. Be nice if you did. Loud and clear. There we go. This is phenomenally interesting to me. To me. This is one of those things which I find so incredibly interesting. Because anytime we get the chance to play with nature, watch nature, But more importantly, if ever we can harness nature, if ever we can take it and direct it, as a tsunami starts, you've seen it, right? We've talked about geoengineering. We've talked about a lot of things. But if you've ever been in a bathtub, I'm a shower dude. I am not. I've never liked baths. Any kind of soaking, I don't care for that. But when you are in your tub and you slide forward and then you slide back, the water goes away and then it comes back. And that's what a tsunami is. You can see it as the water goes out. Seems very calm, and then you think, head for the hills. Animals will know about it. Animals will be able to detect by virtue of their sensibilities, their sensitivities and the like. They will be able to do a variety of different things. They are able to, and this is important, they are able to determine so very much. There was a story years ago, I forget where it was, but there was the beginning of the onset of a tsunami. But before anybody knew about it, elephants in particular can feel, by virtue of the frequency of their pads, they can feel this movement. And they were moving to high ground. In this one, I don't know what you want to call it, in this one compound or what have you, there were no elephants that were dead, that were killed. There were no, how do I say this? There were no, anything in particular, anything special. There were no animals killed. There were nothing. It's as though they all knew. And we, of course, didn't know. So that's going to be one of these ones to keep an eye on. The good news is it will take away from Ghislaine, Maxwell, Trump, and the like. Abi Nated says 16 earthquakes in 24 hours in the same area. 4 seconds, 5 seconds, 6 seconds, then 8.8, then 2 more 6 seconds. That sunspot caused it, in my opinion. Why do you think a sunspot caused it, Obi? In your opinion. To what do you owe your ability to opine anent sunspots? To what? Enjoy you from the West Coast in San Diego. It is nice that we see nature in action once in a bit, as we forget how small we are compared to nature's strength. You are so correct, my friend. You are so correct. Hawaii coast area evacuating in case of tsunami waves. Can you imagine what this would be, my friends, if we could somehow articulate, focus, and harness the waves of these? Do you think that's possible? You better believe that's possible. So let's put that over here for a second. The good news is CME. What is a CME? Magnetic, coronal magnetic. What is a CME? Mount Rainier near Seattle just had record-breaking earthquake swarms, I guess. What is a CME? I could look it up. Coronal mass ejection. Yes. But why do you think that would be earth changes, a coronal mass ejection right there? Let's talk about some other things too, which is interesting. By the way, is anybody interested at all in Ghislaine Maxwell? Has that run its course? Has that run its course? This is such a huge case. This is absolutely such a huge case. I was listening before to your friend, your girlfriend, Candace Owens. This is going to be the showdown of showdowns, this court case. I cannot wait to see only one person is walking out of that octagon. Only one person. And I'm not listening. I'm not hearing what I'm listening. She's talking about a lot of other stuff. I just want to say this. And Candace Owens, bless her heart, Candace Owens better understand something very, very simple. Just before we forget, because I was just listening before. If that jury says, I don't give a diddly damn what anybody else said in any other context, you said that she was a man, and she is not a man. And we don't cotton to that. We don't like that. We're going to respond accordingly to that. We don't like what you've said, okay? We don't like this. You dig? We don't like any of this stuff. Any of this stuff. Just letting you know ahead of time, we don't like any of this stuff. So what you did to her, we don't like. So you could talk all day long about Vernieu and the brothers and this. I'm hearing a lot of extraneous stuff that has nothing really to do with this. Also, Ghislaine Maxwell, none of that makes any case whatsoever. None. But before we do that, let me read you this. A magnitude 8.7 earthquake struck off of Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula. Today, at a shallow depth of roughly 19 to 20 kilometers, with the epicenter 125 kilometers from Petropavlovsk, Kamchatsky. One of the strongest earthquakes in decades. It triggered tsunami waves up to 4 meters or 13 feet along Russia's coast, causing structural damage but no confirmed fatalities. Tsunami alerts and urgent evacuations were issued across Japan, the Hokkaido East Coast, Hawaii, parts of Alaska, Guam, Micronesia, and U.S. West Coast states, including California, Oregon, Washington, and British Columbia. In Hawaii, residents were instructed to vacate, coastal areas for higher ground or shelter above the 4th floor. First waves were predicted around 7:15 local time, 1:15 a.m. ET. So that's coming up. The Pacific Tsunami Warning Center warned that tsunami waves can continue for hours after the fact and after the first, and the initial wave may not be the largest. Here's some tsunami science 101. How big waves form. Tsunamis, hang on a minute, how did this go? Where did this go? Where is this? Oh, come on. I just had it. Ah, yes. Here we go. Tsunamis usually originate from underwater earthquakes at subduction zones, causing sudden seabed displacement and displacing massive water volumes. Waves travel fast up to 500 to 600 miles per hour in deep ocean, and when they reach shallow coastal waters, they slow but dramatically increase in height. Most tsunamis appear as powerful tidal surges rather than tall breaking waves. Destructive energy often comes from currents and debris, not crest height. You could be out in the ocean and a tsunami can pass underneath you, and if you're in a boat, it'll just, because it's below you. As the tsunami gets closer, as the movement goes upwards, that's a different story. The quake occurred along the Pacific Ring of Fire, a zone known for subduction earthquakes. So the question you might say is, what is subduction? Subduction is the sideways and downward movement of the edge of a plate of the Earth's crust into the mantle beneath another plate. The quake occurred along the Pacific Ring of Fire, to use the Johnny Cash reference, a zone known for subduction earthquakes and tsunami risks. The region's tsunami warning systems in Russia, Japan, the US, and Pacific Islands were tested to the limit, prompting evacuations and alerts. Even though immediate casualties were avoided, the incident underscores how quickly tsunamis can travel across ocean basins. The bottom line is, this isn't just a Russian tremor, it's a global tsunami test, with multiple nations responding to potential danger. From Kamchatka to Hawaii, the event highlights the fragile line between the massive power beneath the ocean and catastrophic coastal destruction. The world is watching, ladies and gentlemen, and learning. Do you hear what I'm saying? Do you hear what I'm saying? I think you hear what I'm saying. I think you know exactly what I'm saying. I think you're well aware of it. Coronal mass ejections interaction with the Earth's magnetosphere. When a CME reaches Earth, it can produce a geomagnetic storm that may disrupt Earth's magnetosphere, compressing it on the day side. What does this have to do with subduction? I believe subduction means they lead down to main tectonic plates. No, I just read. What is a coronal mass ejection? Let me ask this question. Does a CME or CMEs have anything to do with tsunamis or subduction? Let's put your theory, your hypothesis to the test. No. No. A coronal mass ejection has nothing to do with tsunamis or submarine earthquakes. Meaning, again, you are full of shit. I say that with all due respect. A coronal mass ejection is a massive burst of solar wind and magnetic fields rising above the solar corona or being released into space. It comes from the sun, not the Earth. CMEs can cause geomagnetic storms, power grid disruptions. Tsunamis are caused by underwater disturbances like subduction zone earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, landslides. They are seismic, not solar. So why do people confuse them? I'll answer that. Because people are full of shit. With all due respect. They just kind of say things. You know, like, yeah, that's good. Both involve sudden, powerful energy releases. Both can impact large areas. Some fringe theories speculate large solar activity could influence seismic activity, but there is no proven scientific link. The bottom line is CMEs are solar flares and space weather. Tsunamis are geological events under the sea. So as you know, my friends, we have another person, God bless him, part of our family, who talks out of their ass, with all due respect. No clue as to what they're talking about. None. Again, we're experts. We pull it out of our ass. We have no idea what we're talking about. None. None. Whether it's constitutional law, Ghislaine, nothing. The Constitution, nothing. You don't know anything. But bless your heart, we don't have to know anything. Since when does knowing anything have to do with anything? Why? Why? We don't have to know anything. We make it up as we go along. We talk about seed oils, methylene blue, statin drugs. We're just experts. And today we're experts on subduction. Why? Because we are. You see, we are know-it-alls. To use a word in West Tampa, sabelo todo. We know it all. We know everything. We know everything. We start off making stuff up, and that's why we're good. We have you, Lionel, so we don't need to. With all due respect. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what makes us so wonderful. Isn't life great? 4X, you're so correct. We just make shit up. We make it up. History, constitutional law, medicine doesn't. And that's the beauty of it. And we will never. I just looked this up immediately. I have my device. Now, if I don't think my ChatGPT is wrong because it has a list. By the way, you could use Grok too. ChatGPT is better for this kind of stuff. It's so simple. I can find out anything I want. Anything I want right there. Right there. Before my very eyes. Isn't it great? It's important. It's critical for us to know this. And critical for you to know this, my friend. You understand it? All right, so what's happening? That's a damn good question, Yeshua. By the way, sacrilegious. You. Let's see what's happening here. Daily Mail. I like the Daily Mail. This is so terrific. First tsunami waves hit Russia and Japan with buildings washed away. Hawaii tells residents to get to high ground now. Now. Get to high ground now. You hear this? The world's largest earthquake in 14 years has plunged Japan, Russia, and the entire west coast of America into tsunami watch and sparked fears for millions as the first wave struck. And Trump was talking about that recently regarding Russia. President Donald Trump urged Americans living in Hawaii, Alaska, and along the Pacific coast to stay strong and stay safe in advance of possible tsunami hitting. What the hell does that mean? Stay strong. Stay safe. Okay. What does it mean? Nothing. Trump made the post on Truth Social as tsunami sirens wailed along shorelines. Due to a massive earthquake that occurred in the Pacific Ocean, a tsunami warning is in effect for those living in the area, Trump wrote on Truth Social. A tsunami watch is in effect for Alaska and the Pacific. You think he would say, I have dispatched my team. I'm going to send Dan Bongino over there. Dan Bongino. It was centered 74 miles from the city of Petropavlovsk, Kamchatsky. I love that name. And registered at a depth of 13 miles. Don't say, Mr. President, stay strong. Say, here's what we're going to do. Go online. Use these resources. I have my emergency people. I'm being monitored. Tsunami warning in effect at 2:43 p.m. Hawaiian Standard Time. Urgent action should be taken to protect lives. This is serious stuff, my friends. And now is the time for the president to absolutely take over, secure the leadership, act like he's in control, and do everything in his power to give people the impression that he knows what he's doing. This is perfect. Is he doing that? No. Maybe Dan Bongino, struck to his very core. These are wonderful times, my friend. Very scary. This is also the time for the president to, through his leadership, take the glare off of Epstein, off of Ghislaine Maxwell. Do you hear what I'm saying? Now's the time to show leadership. Leadership is what's critical. Remember during Hurricane Sandy. Chris Christie, who is an oaf for all practical purposes, took over and showed a command leadership the likes of which nobody's ever seen. And that's what the president needs to do then. Do you agree? Of course you agree. You agree with me because I'm right. You know I'm right. I'm telling you the truth. God damn it. You know I'm right. By the way, I need 300 likes for God's sakes. Lionel, when do you sleep? What is sleep? What does that mean? Kaylee Kala, hi from New Zealand. Hello, my Kiwi friend. We agree. Hi, New Zealand. Weird matter is sleeping. I don't know what that means. I have no idea. I hope Oprah's blue roof didn't wash away. Very funny. Very funny. The monkey's alive. I love that. So that's what that is. Are you going to tune in tonight on WABC? Very important. I sleep enough for both of us. Lou Pasternak. I don't know why this bothers people with sleep so much. I will immediately, almost immediately, after I do 4 hours of this, I'm up about 11. About 11. I go straight through to 5. So, but in the morning, and I come home, and I just have to put on some kind of, watch some YouTube arrest videos, and just kind of relax a little bit, maybe close my eyes, and I'm ready to go. That jazzes me up. It fortifies me. I don't have to sleep in, 8-hour cycles. I sleep continuously. But when a lot of people that I know, especially my age, because next month I'm 67, right? And I tell people that. Well, everybody's getting old and retiring. I'm raring to go. I'm doubling down. I'm like President Trump. I am ready to go. It took me all my life, ladies and gentlemen, to know what I know now. It's taken me all this life to know this. You don't just do this overnight. You don't just say, hey, I'm going to try this. No, I know what I'm talking about. Don't ignore the real story. That's what Trump wants. I 100% care about Hawaii and the people there. It's a diversion. It's a diversion. Would you people stop saying everything's a diversion? What's the matter with you? What's the matter? Everything's a diversion. Everything's a false flag. For the love of God, cut this bullshit out. It's a real story. It's a real story. You hear what I'm saying? It's a real story. I figured you were close to 80. Actually, I am close to 80. 13. I'll be 13 years old. Diversion from the volcano. LOL. Robert Varner has a bunch of flags. Here we go. Like the flags. Heloit's false flag diversion. Heloit. Oh, hello it's. Why is it a false flag? False flag means there is no flag. Do you think there is no tsunami? Do you believe so? Do you, Colin Ferguson, do you believe that this is a false flag? There's no tsunami? Do you know what a false flag means? Unc, I don't care what they say about you. You're my favorite. Thank you, Big Dickie Daniels. God bless you. You wild and crazy nut you. It's a diversive flag. Very good. 7:10 p.m. It's HAARP. H-A-A-R-P. H-A-A. This is seismic versus weather. Heating the ionosphere is not going to do anything with it. Hank did it, damn it, on the Harpo. Okay, thank you so much. Who cares? Thank you, Mo. You don't look like you sound. That's correct. Mo says, who cares? It's them. What's in that drink vessel? It's my coffee. Not a false flag, but it's not going to make us forget Ghislaine. Oh, I think it will. Because there's nothing to be said. The Ghislaine thing is not even funny. Let me show you something here. I got my notes. By the way, see my new favorite book? Let me go into my book bag. This is my new grave. This guy, David Graham's, this is called the Endangered English Dictionary. This is a monster. I thought the other one was good. Here's a new one today. Learn this one, a stupex. Stupex is a stupid person. It's the ultimate. Stupex is the colossal, how do I say this? It's the acme. It's the acme of stupid and the apex combined. Stupex. Isn't that a great word? I was going to write my notes down. So here's my story, my friends. What do you think are some of the big stories today, all right? Let me write these down. This is called show prep. Give me an idea of what's important. Here's my notepad. I got these little things all over the place. I'll always write notes. Number 1, tsunami. What is the word tsunami? Where does this come from? What is the derivation and etymology of the word tsunami? And what language is it? Good. And that is, it comes from Japanese, meaning the cattle are dying. It comes from, its etymology reflects both geography and experience. Tsu, T-S-U, is a harbor or port. Nami is a wave. So, tsunami is harbor wave. Sounds like a condominium, doesn't it? Because in ancient Japan, fishermen at sea wouldn't notice the wave at all. Tsunamis can pass under boats. That's the thing that's important. If you're out there in the ocean and you have your boat there and the tsunami passes, you don't notice anything. The term, the English, let me see, in 1960, Chilean tsunami it came into. Now, what are the greatest tsunamis and attendant violence and destruction in world history? Because I love to unmask the horror and the power of Almighty God. You want to hear what the best ones are? The 5 most devastating tsunamis in recorded history, ranked by death toll, destruction, and historic impact. These weren't just waves, friends. These were civilization-shaking events. Number 1, the Indian Ocean tsunami, 2004. December the 26th. Magnitude 9.1 to 9.3. Death toll 227,000. The affected area, Indonesia, Thailand, Sri Lanka, India, Maldives, Somalia, and more. It was a massive undersea megathrust earthquake off the coast of Sumatra. Borneo, Sumatra. Triggered waves over 100 feet high. 100 feet. It devastated entire towns. Whole families were wiped out in seconds. The wave raced along the Indian Ocean at jetliner speeds. The legacy, it was the deadliest tsunami in modern history. It revolutionized global tsunami warning systems and exposed how unprepared much of the developing world was. Isn't that something? 2, Tohoku tsunami, Japan, 2011. 20,000 dead. Remember, 227,000 dead. This is 20,000. Number 3, Lisbon earthquake and tsunami, 1755. 8.5 to 9, 40,000 to 50,000. Krakatoa, remember Krakatoa, east of Java. Remember that movie? 1883, 36,000. The eruption of Krakatoa caused the island to explode and to collapse into the sea. Storega slide, prehistoric. A massive 8,000 years ago in the North Sea. A massive underwater landslide off the coast of Norway. I was wondering, why is there no death toll? Honorable mention, Lituya Bay, Alaska, 1958, the date of my birth, the year of my birth. 1,720 feet, the tallest tsunami ever recorded, caused by a landslide triggered by a 7.8 earthquake. Death toll, only 5. It was a remote location. This wasn't the typical ocean crossing tsunami, but it remains unmatched in sheer wave height. 1,720 feet. The height. Dear God. In summary, my friends, tsunamis are not just waves. They are agents of mass death. As is a Jordan Peterson lecture. Agents of political change, scientific transformation. And if we could somehow, my friends, figure a way to harness that, harness all of that together. Dear God. Now, my friends, we never got to what's your name? We never got to. We got a picture of her, Ghislaine. Because from the time I put that up till now, this is what I want to talk about. So anyway, thank you for this. Please like the video. Like the videos. Liking the videos is our HOV lane. Please, I beg you, my friends, please like the video. Thank you for watching this. Make sure you are subscribed to Lionel Nation. Make sure you are subscribed, and also Lionel Legal. And don't forget Mrs. L at Lynn's Warriors. Now, right now, you're going to go to 77 WABC or 770 WABC or WABCradio.com or the app, and you're going to listen to me from 1 to 5 a.m. overnights in New York City. And we are going to have the time of our lives. I'll give you a shout out to you, my dear friends. So anyway, I love you. I got to run. About to go on the air. Got my microphone here. Got all my stuff. Got all my, see my equipment? See all this stuff over there? See, you got my stuff over there. I got my, well, you can't see it over there. Right over there. I got this stuff. Got these weird cameras. See over here, by the way, this is Midtown. There we go. Over there we got our friends, our good buddies who are working the board on the other side of the death house. All right, we'll see you. Have a great and a glorious day. Don't ever forget, I mean it sincerely. I love you to death. I love you madly. Because you are so beautiful to me. Can't you see? You are so beautiful to me. All right, my friends. Go over now. See you there. Until then, my friends, remember, the monkey's dead. Show's over, sue you. Dad. Now, pardon my thumb. Pardon my thumb.